great people of Ghana, it's an Nigerian God pleasure bringing you political news in our channel, Ghanatube. Ghana has actually been giving us serious vibe, all the trendings that has actually been going on, all the news that has actually been going on in Ghana. I know our channel is always here to bring you all this news. Please.
Today, we expected to hear from the former finance minister, Mr. Ken Nanaya Ofori Atta, because he's scheduled to meet the OXP today. So
right now, the special prosecutor's office released a statement which pretty much said what?
Yeah, so let me just say that talking about Ken Ofori Atta, now the Ken Ofori Atta's lawyers have indicated that he can't meet the special prosecutor in person because he has to undergo some medical checks and procedures. But let me just share with you the series of events that have happened since the OSP declared Ken Ofori Atta wanted. Now the OSP is investigating Mr. Ofori Atta first under the Petroleum and Minerals Revenue Assurance. They're investigating contractual arrangements between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority. To the Electricity Company of Ghana contract termination, and that's the termination of a contract between ECG and Beijing Xiangcheng Technology. Also the National Cathedral project. So here the OSP is investigating procurement procedures and financial transactions related to the National Cathedral, and then the ambulance procurement. So Ministry of Health contract with Service Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchasing and maintaining 307 ambulances, and GRA Tax P Fund Management handling and disbursement of funds from the Tax P Fund account of GRA. Now, in January 2025, the OSP officially notified Mr. Ofori Atta that he was a suspect in 5 separate cases and asked him to appear in person on the 10th of February 2025. On the 31st of January 2025, his lawyers informed the OSP that he was abroad indefinitely for medical reasons and offered to represent him in his absence. On the 5th of February, the OSP rejected the claim of indefinite absence and demanded a firm return date by 10th February, warning of legal consequences for failure to comply. It also reminded that the legal representatives cannot respond to criminal charges on behalf of clients. Now, on the 10th of February, his lawyer submitted a doctor's note, not addressed to anyone specifically, stating he was undergoing tests and possible surgery with no clear return date. So, on the 12th of February, with no cooperation, according to the OSP, they declared Mr. Ofori Atta a fugitive from justice, acting on an arrest warrant. On the 18th of February, Mr. Ofori Atta appealed to the OSP to remove his name from the wanted list, and for the first time provided a definite return date in May 2025, and the OSP accepted his assurance and subsequently took his name off the list. Now, in March 2025, Mr. Ofori Atta filed a lawsuit against the OSP and the special prosecutor seeking compensation for what he called unlawful declaration of him as wanted, and asked for the removal of related publications from the OSP's social media. And then on the 28th of March, the Human Rights Court had an interim application from Mr. Ofori Atta asking for the OSP to be barred from declaring him wanted again. Now, we know that that particular case has been adjourned to the 18th of June. Now, according to the OSP, and what we've learned from our source in the OSP, Mr. Ofori Atta is expected to report in person to the OSP headquarters on June 2nd. That's today. Now, the OSP has stated that if he fails to appear, his name will be added again to the list of wanted persons, and he will be declared a fugitive from justice. And in such a case, the OSP will begin the process to request Interpol's red notice against him. Okay. However, the lawyers have actually indicated that, look, Mr. Ofori Atta cannot make it, and they have written to the OSP of these medical challenges that Mr. Ofori Atta is going through, and so Mr. Ofori Atta could engage the OSP virtually. So that's it basically on the Ken Ofori-Atta issue.
All right. Well, let's learn a bit more about this situation from a member of Mr. Ofori-Atta's legal team. Here's Frank Davis. Mr. Davis, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to your esteemed listeners and cherished viewers. Thank you.
We appreciate your time with us this morning. Where is Ken Ofori-Atta?
We have established from day one that Ken Ofori-Atta is attending to his medical challenges in the United States. We made that clear already from the warehouses.
Right. So he's currently in Ghana or out of the country?
He is outside of the jurisdiction, and this is known to the OSP. I believe you are also aware. This is abundant public knowledge.
Right. Now, as we have understood, there was a prior agreement that Mr. Ofori-Atta would attend to the Special Prosecutor's Office by today. This plan has changed. What happened?
Yeah, correct. There were a series of engagements between us and the OSP's office, and we came to a firm conclusion that Ken will make himself physically available and present to attend onto the ASP for a scheduled interview to elicit or solicit a caution statement from him in view of the charges that the OSP claims to have preferred against. In light of all of this, I think the OSP has been patently made aware of Ken's medical circumstances.
Okay.
Nonetheless, the medical circumstances have changed, and Ken would thus not be unable to be physically present today for any such interview. Of course, today, if my calendar is right, is the 2nd of June, but Ken cannot be physically present. The change in his health circumstances have been communicated duly and promptly to the office of the Special Prosecutor. That notwithstanding, his medical records have been made available to the court against the back of the suit that he had sued in court against the OSP in the Human Rights Court. Among other reasons, that the OSP seizes from advertising him as a wanted person on its platforms and to desist from still parading him as a wanted person. That application was argued in court. The ASP was in court. The affidavit was argued, the application was argued, and the judge has adjourned the matter to the 18th of June for a ruling. The ASP office have by themselves on their Twitter platform and accounts brought this to the public forum that the matter has been adjourned to the 18th of June for a ruling. Of course, one's right to fundamental liberty is closely related to whether the person is well. Health rights are recognized by the law. So if the OSP's office has been furnished with material which clearly suggests that Ken is unable to be physically present in Ghana for any such interview, I wonder why. I've seen from yesterday there are a lot of media correspondences on Facebook to people suggesting that the OSP has strengthened the going to integrate notice arrest on 10 if 10 does not appear this morning or today before him. And I find it quite worrying. The Electronic Transactions Act, which was passed, clearly makes room for a video recorded interview. And in this age of technology, Ken has confirmed to the OSP that he prefers to avail himself that video recorded interview is permissible under law. So if he cannot come to that and he makes himself available to a VR, I don't see what the function is.
Mr. Frank Davis, I want some quick clarification here. Has the OSP formally acknowledged your medical reports and your request for virtual interrogation or postponement? And is Mr. Ofori going to do that today?
The letter has been transmitted to the office of the OSP. It has been duly acknowledged and received. I don't know what else we can do as well. So far as the letter has reached him, we are of the firm conviction that he is aware. And Ken is prepared to make himself available for the VR.
Your answer suggests that even though you've transmitted a letter to the OSP and it's been acknowledged, you do not know, or the OSP has not communicated to you if they are going to have a virtual session with Ken. Is that the case?
Well, not at this moment. There has been no communication.
Okay. Now,
the OSP's office. What we have is what is being paraded.
Yeah, but Mr. Davis, at the time that you requested, Ken said he was going to show up in person in May. He had indicated reasons. He said he could make it in May. You have also come back then to say, well, his medical condition may have deteriorated and so he cannot do it at this time. Wouldn't you agree that if you send a letter to the OSP requesting virtual interrogation, it'd be important for you to hear from the OSP on his acceptance or otherwise?
But that is what we are all speaking. We are not. The OSP is the trainer. We have sent a letter to you. It is up to you to say yes or no. Then we take the next steps. But you don't ambush us. You don't respond to the letter, and you just come to social media threatening that you are going to be letting
Mr. Davis, how do you respond to those who say that this is all an attempt not to be present in person? Because initially the point was, I'll be there in May. Then when it is time, I'll be there. By this period, when it's getting to that time, another issue surfaces. How do you respond to those who say this is all an attempt not to be present?
Please. When you're dealing with somebody's medical challenge, he doesn't determine it. If I tell you that I'll come and see you tomorrow, and just on the brink of tonight, I suffer a casualty, would you see me tomorrow? Why should it be so difficult for people to understand that the person involved has a health challenge? This was known long before these charges were prepared against him. Who didn't know that Ken was on board? So if his medical circumstances have changed, he should visit Ghana and come to Ghana because of what he's supposed to come and do in Ghana can be done otherwise. Why? In this when we boast so much of technology, is VRI concerned with why? Is it going to take an interview? So why should people be suggesting that Ken is running away?
Mr. Davis, but I know that it's a difficult time to be a lawyer for somebody who is undergoing medical treatment and having to deal with the court of public opinion. But help us, when was the last time you communicated to the OSP? When did you suggest to the OSP that your client cannot be physically present and you wanted to have a virtual session?
A letter was sent to him on the 27th of May.
So that was
just last
week.
Yes.
And that letter was acknowledged by the OSP?
The OSP has not acknowledged receipt of the letter, but the letter was sent to his office. It was received by all.
And
it has not written back, if you want me to say.
Okay. And before you sent this letter to the OSP on the 27th of May, what other conversation or correspondence had you had with the OSP prior to that? And did you get a response to that as well?
We didn't have communication. We were in court. We were in court to argue the matter.
So
in the case of the judge for a ruling.
Now the OSP gives us the indication that if Ken doesn't appear today, he'll be put back on the list. And this case is also in court. How do you think today's issues are going to affect whatever is going to happen on the 18th of June in court?
But being a lawyer and with the change circumstances, which has been brought to his attention and also brought to the attention of the court. And we himself has put it out there that the matter has been adjourned to 18th of June for a reason. How can you do a U-turn and decide that it's going to declare him a wanted person or put him on the red alert list? You should go ahead and do that. And when he does that, we also know what to do. We talk about it. I don't understand what the indecent case is all about. And this matters, I mean, putting things out on social media and all that to create all the impression. I mean,
Mr. David, finally, Davis, from me.
I want to believe.
I just would want to. Yes, Mr. Davis, finally, I want to understand something. So you're requesting a virtual, interrogation. Which provision in our law allows that kind of interrogation?
I've just told you that the Electronic Transactions Act permits that. The Electronic Transactions Act permits that.
Mr. Davis,
it is not something we're doing in the government.
Right, Mr. Davis. As you said earlier, this has become a matter of public interest, and of course, the Special Prosecutor's Office is a public office. What can you tell us about the change in Mr. Oforiatta's health that you've communicated to the OSP?
I should divulge Mr. Oforiatta's medical condition to you already. I mean, how can I possibly do that? Is it not private?
Okay, but you have divulged it to the Special Prosecutor's Office.
No, of course.
So it's a matter of public record now.
Well, you can source that from the public prosecutor, the Special Prosecutor's Office. I'm not about to be already talking about my client.
Okay.
I don't think it's professional enough.
All right. Is Mr. Oforiatta in a hospital?
Is it the same thing you're asking?
No, I'm not asking about what his condition is. I'm asking where he is. Is he in a hospital?
He's in the United States of America undergoing medical treatment.
Okay. Can you tell us whether he's in a hospital or not?
He's in the United States of America attending onto his doctors.
Okay. We want to thank you very much for your time with us this morning, Mr. Frank Davis.
Thank you too very much.
All right. So that's Frank Davis. He's a member of Ken Oforiatta's legal team. Okay.
Yeah. So, quickly, the provision that Mr. Davis mentions is actually for civil cases, not for criminal cases.
Please do well to like, comment and follow. Put on notification bell so you get all our news one by one. Thanks my people.